Welcome to the podcast. My name's Skip Clark, Skip Happens podcast host, along with Skip Happens podcast co-host Deb Lamphear, president and founder of the official country music fan club. This is the podcast that will bring you the stories. We will interview the incredible up-and-coming artists out of Music City. Also, we chat with the big stars, and we talk about their journey to stardom. We also love talking to entrepreneurs. Not only that, it's people like you and I. That's all. And just remember, Skip happens. So get over it. Let's get right to the podcast. Oh, get over it. And every time I hear that, Deb, when I hear that word that I can't say, I chuckle.
Love those intros.
It is. And hello, everybody, and welcome to Skip Happens. Skip Clark, Deb Lamphear, as you heard the big guy say. And tonight, of course, it's another edition of the Independent Artist Series. And what is he doing? Yeah, I know. This is awesome. It's well, we're talking to Caleb Kelley tonight. He's got a brand new song on the radio called Riverbend, and he's in front of his shower curtain. I don't know what that is.
Never know what you might see if you open it up.
I know, that's cool.
Oh.
Me being a typical guy, I'd say, hey, dude, that's a pretty cool shower curtain. You can use it for like a window curtain. You can go with that. Yeah, I get it. I get it. Caleb Kelley, how are you, my friend?
Great, man. As good as I could say with what's going on in the world right now.
Yeah, exactly. Very excited. I know you're really new to the scene, the music scene, and what's happening. And let's start right from scratch. Where are you? Describe your surroundings. You don't have to talk about the shower curtain. We already talked about that.
I'm in my bathroom.
Yeah, love it.
No.
You know, that is the best place to get some peace and quiet. That's what they say.
I wrote some of my favorite songs on the toilet.
There you go.
Ideas have started on the
Wait a minute, you kind of cut out just a little bit. You said you've written some of your best songs, or you listen to your favorite songs on the toilet.
No.
Yeah.
He's written some of his best songs.
You probably have. I mean, you're in your own world, dude. That's from a guy's point of view. There's no room better than the bathroom.
But no, I live about 15 minutes outside of Nashville. Kind of in a little subdivision. I grew up kind of out in the country, and when I moved here, I learned really quick that you have to be okay with living around a bunch of people if you live in Nashville for not a lot of money.
Where did you live before you ended up in Nashville?
Well, I grew up in Savannah, Tennessee. A lot of people know Daryl Worth.
Yep.
A really good friend of my family's. And he's actually the one that really kind of sparked my interest to be a singer. I grew up going to the river run that he did every year. Mom was one of the event coordinators, so he was always tied into that. And I remember watching, when Daryl would come from the bus to the stage, he walked up there, just how loud the crowd get. And as not even the artist, I'm sitting there like, man,
isn't that cool?
That'd be a cool job. And I love tour buses. And so being back there around, oh man, tour buses are my
aren't they awesome? When you think about it, you're breaking up here a little bit, so I apologize if I step on you. And but tour buses are so cool. And when they come into town and you get a chance to go on one and chat with an artist, I mean, you guys, the artists will live on that bus weeks at a time.
Yeah.
But it's home. You have a full bedroom, you've got a lounge, you've got the satellite TV, you've got Wi-Fi, you've got it made. And you got a bus driver up front that gets you to where you got to go. And the guy's good at what he does. So.
Speaking of buses, I actually grew up singing in church. I sung in like some gospel groups and traveled for about 2 years, from 18 till I was about almost 20 years old. I traveled with gospel groups. And one I was traveling with had an 80s Silver Eagle tour bus, and we were parked at a Walmart somewhere in Mississippi, and these guys were all standing out just kind of looking at it, and me and the bass singer, owner of the group, we walked out, and they were all like, man, who's up on that bus, man? Who be up on that bus? And without missing a beat, David, he goes, man, Snoop Dogg's up on that bus. And he went,
Wow.
no way. And at the time, the only two other people in the group was two older gentlemen,
Uh-huh.
feel like white-headed, just looked like they were straight out of the Baptist church.
Right.
And David said, yeah, man, Snoop Dogg's up there. And he said, man, you if I care about meeting him, he said, you open that door and step up there and you'll see him. And he stepped up and the door closed. About 20 seconds later, he come out and said, man, there ain't nobody up there but an old white woman. But yeah, no,
Great story. I love that.
we'd pull into town and you'd think, man, who's on that? And it's just a bunch of older white guys. And me.
That's
But
a
no,
great story.
I'm in Whites Creek. I live out here, and I've lived here for about 2 years. I moved here from Savannah. Savannah is definitely where I call home. Riverbend. This whole idea of that song came out from living on a town that is on the river. So it was either go on the river or go park at Walmart and talk to your buddies.
That's awesome, though. That's awesome.
True country.
Yeah.
Yeah, no doubt. And what came out of that is a great song. I mean, where you used to live, hanging out on the river and just hanging out in that parking lot of Walmart, maybe having a cold one with your buddies on a tailgate or something, just kind of shooting the crap and bam.
Yeah.
Nice song.
Really cool song. I can't wait to talk about it in a little bit, how it kind of came to be.
Yeah, I know. We can't wait to hear that. But so you're in Tennessee, maybe just a few minutes from town. And how long have you been in Nashville?
I'm going to let this dog back in.
Yeah, move the
I
shot.
thought he said, oh no.
Version of Caleb Kelley tonight.
Oh, that's all right. That's the nice thing about these podcasts is we are real people, all of us. There you are in your home. I'm in my home. Deb is in her home. We all have dogs. You never know. My lab might come running across here any minute. So it is what it is. You know what I mean? And it's just real life.
And nothing but my shirt and this and boxers.
Dude, that you don't want me to stand up because you click off. I'm just saying.
Oh man! But what was you at? How long have been?
Yeah, how long have you been in Nashville?
In Nashville, going on about 2 years.
Okay.
I actually moved up here when I first moved and lived with a friend of mine from my hometown that was doing the same thing. She was a songwriter trying to make it, and I talk about some other kind of songwriter. I tell her all the time she's probably, in my opinion, one of the most. I call her the most famous person you've never heard of, because when you listen to her sing, it's like, where's this voice been? So I lived with her for a while and another guy, and I worked security, actually, like a personal bodyguard for an artist. So that's kind of where I lived for a little bit, and then really started pursuing my music, started getting some chances, and so I moved kind of more into the city a little bit, so I can be more accessible.
What we're doing right now, there's a gentleman on here, Paul Barker, who I happen to know, but he's watching and listening in England. That's where he lives. So across the pond, you can see, I don't know if you can see, he posted on there, said, hey, brother, from across the pond. So they've got us on over in England right now. How cool is that?
I wish I could see. It gives me an option to write a message, but I guess I can't see messages. So if anybody does say anything directed to me, let me know and I can respond to it.
I'll only read you the good ones.
Okay.
No. Usually they're all good. There's never a problem. Are you on a phone or a computer?
I just recently moved and kind of into a new house. And so I usually have like a home studio, kind of like what you have. And right now I don't. So I'm running off of a phone propped up on a security camera box.
Whatever it takes to make it work.
It takes, and whatever it takes to get you out there, because we want our people to know about you and to hear more about you. But let's talk about your music a little bit. Your background, you said you've been gospel, Christian type music, traveling with that and performing that. And now you've decided to, you're out in the country field. Just talk about all that for a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, I grew up, like I said, in Savannah, Tennessee, and anybody that grew up in the South, it was kind of country music and Jesus. That was like kind of the thing. And my dad's a preacher, and so I grew up in church all the time. I'm a devout, faithful Christian myself. I can honestly say I would not be
Very
anywhere near where I am today without his help. Um, and I've always loved kind of the old church music. Like that's what I was raised on, is those backwoods Baptist holy swinging from the chandelier services, and the way the professional singers in that genre, the way they sung, it was so unique. Like if you listen to a male quartet lead singer, it's kind of interesting. It's like you don't hear that kind of singing anymore, and so I kind of just fell in love with the vocal side of what they were doing, and started taking some lessons. But I mean, music to me has always been. I know my limits as a vocalist. I
uh-huh.
can country stuff, but I love to listen to some rap, some
Mhm.
rock.
Mhm.
I'm not really a big old screamo guy, um, but I've always loved all kinds of music, and going into Christian music was the easiest avenue for me to start doing music,
Mhm.
because I already had the avenue with my dad being a preacher. So this would give me, some type of audience that I could go in front of. And so I started doing that, and definitely felt like the Lord was definitely leading me, and I had an amazing time doing it. It kind of led me into singing with different quartets, and then I eventually, my last tenure with it was with a group out of Knoxville, and I lived in Knoxville for about a year, and traveled with them. Had a couple of songs I had wrote that they cut on a record. Actually, one of them was a top 80, I think, in the Christian charts. And so God really, really blessed that. And I woke up one day, um, and I was realizing how much I was struggling trying to pay my bills and stuff. And not that there's definitely a need for people to be out there singing that music, but it's so hard to sustain yourself in it, because unfortunately churches today are not really wanting to
Mhm.
recognize what it takes to bring in someone like that. And then there's churches that do, and they over the top, take care of you. But if they're just financially not able to, it's understandable. And that was becoming more and more. And I think it goes back to us as Christians. We start pulling away from what we do to support our local church.
Right.
But I don't want to get off on a big tangent there. That's a whole thing that I'll go
Mhm.
off on talking about. Um,
No, no, but I get it. I get it.
yeah,
It's a great start for you, and
yeah,
now you're pursuing your dream. This
yeah,
is what you want to do, and like I say, getting a song on the radio. I mean that's so cool. I mean, I get to
yeah.
play,
It's,
get to
as
hear 'em,
and that was actually the first song I had ever wrote ever. Got on Christian radio, and then this was my first ever pursue into country at all. And somehow they were able to get it circulating on radio. And Grassroots, which is my radio team, awesome, awesome people, told me like this is not normally the outcome we get
Mhm.
first push. And
Mhm.
so it just makes me feel like, because my goal when I write music, and this has been in Christian music, and I'm in 100% have adopted this into my writing now, is me, Caleb Kelley, when I sit down and I want to listen to a song, and it's country, especially country, because country music is known for storytelling. That's what country
Mhm.
music is. And I sit down and the end of that song, I go, man, that was something I needed, or man, I can relate to that. And I just wanted to write music that the working man that comes home from working 6 and 7 hours, and he has 5 kids that are jacked up on sugar, and a wife that's just ready to go to bed, and something he can sit down and go, I can relate to that. And I think a lot in country music is pulling away from that and writing about fairy tale land and dreams that we can't even understand. And then you got artists like Cody Johnson and Luke Combs busting out the music that
Yep.
Mhm.
makes you realize why you love country, and that's because of the stories that it tells. And so that's kind of what I started doing. I started writing country, and pitched it to a couple of producers in Nashville, and got kind of the stereotypical, yeah, we'll produced that for you, and that was kind of it. And then I ran into a guy named Trey Bruce.
Okay.
If you don't know Trey, you 100% probably know his dad, who wrote a little song, didn't do too good, called "Mama Don't Let Your Babies Grow Up to Be Cowboys."
Never.
Yeah.
No, I have no idea.
Really song. And then Trey has wrote. Oh, he's wrote so many great songs. "Look Heart No Hands" by Randy Travis. Gosh, he's got some stuff with Trace Atkins, and I was actually dating a girl at the time when I lived here, and I met him through her. We started dating, and her mom was like, "Trey has to hear this. Trey has to hear this," and I didn't know who they were talking about.
Mhm.
And then finally, they kind of put the connection together. And we met up for coffee, and he was like, "I think we could do something really cool with your music, because we cut like 5 songs, and Riverbend's just the first release. This is the first time I'm actually
No.
saying this. Riverbend is the first release of 5 that is coming
Wow.
throughout into next year, and I love Riverbend, but I have to say it's probably my least favorite out of what we were like this songs, but that was just the one we chose to throw out first.
Did you make that decision, or did you guys do it as a group?
I kind of had that idea before I brought in anybody to work with me. When me and Trey met up, I basically asked him, I said, "I can tell you how to do Christian music, gospel music. I know the radio people. I know everything there is to know about that industry. I know jack squat about country music, and I know it is a huge beast. And I just need to know what's my best avenue." And he said, "Here's what we're going to do. We're not going to talk about any of that stuff. We're going to cut 5 songs. We're going to get 5 songs cut we like. If that's 50 or that's 100, whatever we cut, we're going to get 5 that we 100% like. Then we're just going to listen to them. And we're just going to let them sit over there. We're just going to let them sit for a little bit." And that's what he said.
Yeah. No, it's probably good to walk away from, cut
Mhm.
5 songs and walk away from them for a little bit, then come back,
Yeah.
after a short period of time, and then listen to them where you're not, your mind is more like wide open at that point, and then you can pick and choose.
Because Riverbend's been out for about a month, I believe. It was cut. It was cut the middle of last year.
Oh wow.
And all of them were, and so they were kind of set there, and we just listened to them, and we both were like, it's equally like let's just throw one out there and see how people like it. And I was worried putting it out not in the middle of summer, and we originally planned for that because of how far back we had it cut. And I kept changing my mind on things I wanted to do. And then finally my momager, if anybody knows what
Momager.
Mom.
I have I have a really great manager that's working with me, but she still is like right up under him, and kind of like a little dog biting at your leg. Oh, that's terrible. She's listening. I shouldn't have said that.
She'll be coming in here in a minute.
You know what? All of us moms are like that, no matter what the situation. Just a little FYI.
And nothing wrong with that.
But she said, "Riverbend is the one. We're doing it." And so we, Grassroots came on, and we started pushing it out. And I think it was a really cool song because what did people do this summer? It was go out on the boat with your family. We didn't get to really go to concerts. We didn't get to go. So I know a lot of people went out on the boat, and I thought, what a great song to kind of summarize up summers that are for me. That's what they're like.
So exactly how long? You said you cut the 5 songs last year. Did I hear that correctly? And then you just released one this year, or is there like a 6-month window? I'm just wondering how long they sat on the shelf before you went back and listened to them.
They sat. 4 of them are still sitting, but Riverbend sat in probably. There was probably about 4 months go by when it was ready to go out.
Okay,
and
not too bad.
Sat there and wanted to make sure that
You had to be chomping at the bit, though.
I was doing a lot of songwriter in the round stuff and
Mm-hmm.
talking to other young songwriters, and Corona was going on too. Like
Mm-hmm.
Corona started hitting. Now we're getting into like the March of when I wanted to start releasing it. So now we're like, okay, do we release a song in the middle of a pandemic? Which I'm glad we did, because I feel
Mm-hmm.
like a lot of things have leveled out.
Mm-hmm.
The A-list record studio people and the independents kind of level to what you could do, especially radio wise.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
True.
absolutely. Um, you as an independent artist, explain how you get hooked up with a promotions company such as Grassroots. I mean, we may have some artists that are watching this. I know we talk to a lot of those, and a lot of people would love to be in your shoes right now, but they don't know where to turn. They don't know what to do. How, and you as an independent artist, how did you get hooked up with a great company like Grassroots?
Um, I love that you asked this question, because I have a lot of songwriter friends that um, have come to me kind of with that question, and I'm going to give the 100% honest truth of what I did, and it's
Absolutely.
not going to be what a lot of you expected. I went on Google and I typed in radio promotion team, enter,
Mm-hmm.
Nashville, enter, and I read there's a list of them. Now there's a lot of promoters that are not commercialized, and a lot of them are managers and other artists, and so you're obviously not going to find them. But your major companies, they're going to be on there. And I probably emailed 12, and they kind of come back with the same thing. Hey, thanks for your email. Send us your music. So all
Right.
I can tell you is Google them. Know that it can be a little expensive. Some companies can be, it can be expensive, or there's a lot of independent companies that are very oriented towards an independent artist bank account. And so, but they're going to want to hear your music and send it to them. Tell them what you're wanting to do. If you're wanting to do a radio push, or the same thing with Aristo Media does all of my Instagram and all my social medias. Same thing. Send them your music, send them your profiles, let them know you're wanting to do, and then they just kind of shoot back. And 80% of the time, if you're a serious artist pursuing radio, you're going to have a song that's radio ready. If you're going the route of paying a promotion team, then you must know what you want. So you're just be prepared. They're probably going to be like, yeah, let's do it. Here's how much it costs.
Yeah. You pay me, I'll do it
But
for
as simple as, because I don't know nobody, I just Googled it, and that's what I could tell everybody. Google it.
Well, here's the thing. You Googled, you sent about 12 letters out, and they all came back and had the same request. So at that point, do they come to you? Well, they all probably came to you and said, yes, we'll take you. Here's what the fees
Well,
are. Okay. I say, did you interview the ones that basically accepted your information?
it kind of when it went into after I sent my music, the conversation either went, hey, we're not, or some of them were just wouldn't even want my music. We're not looking for any new people,
Okay.
which is understandable. But the ones that did, and we moved into that conversation, it was sort of like, here's a rundown, kind of what we do. Let's do a phone chat, and we
Mhm.
have probably a 2 hour phone chat where they just kind of go over everything that they do, and then they ask you, what do you need, what can you financially afford, and then they'll shoot you. It's usually with a radio campaign, it's kind of it's done by the life of the single. I'm sure you know exactly
Mhm.
what all this is.
yes, I
um,
do.
you don't. The life of your single is kind of what I would say how long a song lasts on radio. So it goes out, and as each week, if they increase or decrease their spends to whatever the point is, they go, we're spending him 2 times a week. Obviously, it's nothing now. Then that's the life of your single. That could be a month, or it could, I
Mhm.
mean, go
Right.
technically
Right.
go a year. It could go as long
Mhm.
as they possibly could. They're going to probably shoot you like hey, this is how much it costs to promote that for the life of your single. And then your media teams are going to do like a month to month base type thing. But I just tell it's worth it for the promotion side. If anything, you don't pay somebody to do your social media. Don't pay for not knocking radio promotion
Mhm.
team. Don't pay for any of that stuff until you can afford to pay for some type of promotion. Some people that work with ads and
Right.
Mhm.
ads out, because that right there, because you have to start building your fan base. Because if you don't have a fan base, then
You have
who's
nobody to market to.
yeah.
Yeah.
So, oh,
Exactly. Well, I
But
can
see.
tell you this much. I mean, working with Grassroots, and of course, I work with a lot of different companies. I talk to them every week when it comes to music. On Tuesday when I take my music calls, and I hear about, I get the pitch from all the different promotions people about their artists. I got to tell you, Grassroots, though, what I like about them, and I'm just going to say it is, it's run by people that know music. It's run by Nancy and Renee. I mean, Nancy is married to a musician. So, and they had singles on the radio. So it's just having that knowledge and that background and knowing how an artist thinks. I think that's a plus. And that's what you get out of Grassroots. You get
yeah,
a lot of that.
and you get people that genuinely will not take a client if they would not play the music themselves,
Right.
and that's an important thing, because
Mhm.
they don't want to take your money. They want
Right.
it, and that's what I tell anybody that work like uh, writers that I write with. I'm not up here, but I have a standard of quality that's up here, and I tell
Mhm.
I write with people that are around me, if my music and who I am is not something you would listen to, you would buy, you would support, then I don't need you around me.
Mhm.
Love it. It's a good
Got to
thing.
make those business decisions. This is
It,
a business. You're building a business.
I don't fake. There was
Mhm.
I've experienced the fakeness of people,
Mhm.
and
Mhm.
uh, have a zero tolerance. And that's what I love about my fans. There's a small number of them, but man, they are some believers.
Mhm.
You know what? And that means a lot because one
Mhm.
believer will lead to two
Yeah.
believers, to three, to four, and it'll grow. It just keeps going. And you're brand new. I mean, let's
Mhm.
just face it. And you got your first song on the radio, which I mentioned earlier. This is just the start for you. And if you're at this point in your game,
Mhm.
it's wide open out there. You're going to do very, very well.
I appreciate it, sir.
Yeah.
I try. I want to make music that I would listen to. Like I want to listen. I like listening to my music. I love it actually, and I don't want to be prideful. And I definitely don't think I'm the best singer there is. I think I could put myself on a list way at the bottom. There is way better singers, but I like listening to my music.
Well, wouldn't it be like maybe, I that's what you think of yourself. I think it's awesome. But um, if you have fun doing what you're doing, maybe you're not the best singer, but if it shows that you're really into yourself, believing that what you have is awesome and having fun doing it, I mean, that's a lot of it right there. People see that. People see that emotion. People see you having a good time with your own product. I think that would make me want to embrace you more. You have
Sure,
the confidence, you have all that going for you. Man, just have a good time with it. If you can have a good time, that good time will, it'll meet other people. I'm trying to think of the right word to say. It lost.
no, I bet Elon Musk likes driving his own cars.
Yeah, no, exactly. Pretty soon he'll be in a spaceship. He'll be
And
taking us all to
that's
the moon. And
amazing. I'm actually a big follower of the space program and what they're doing at SpaceX. So it's
I
pretty cool.
love it. I love it. What did you think about water on the moon?
Is that when I haven't read that post yet.
Yeah, they actually they have found water on the moon on the sunlit side,
Mhm.
which that could be a big plus for future space expeditions.
Boots on the moon.
Well,
There you go.
we may need to go to another planet. I'm
Yeah,
telling
it's
you,
on Mars.
to get away. And
Song title.
I know. Yeah,
I want to be the first artist to perform at Mars.
there you go.
Oh.
Water on the moon. You could have your own moon water park.
Mhm.
You could, matter of fact, there's a song title, Moon Water
Mhm.
Park. I don't know.
Water park. That might get mixed emotions.
I like boots on the moon.
Boots on the moon.
There you go.
Make note of that. That's a Deb idea. But let's talk about Riverbend a little bit. You said you
Okay.
want to talk about the song and how all that. I know you said you lived on the river and that's how it all pretty much came about. But the writing of it and and all that. Let's get into that a little bit more.
Yeah, River Bent there's a lot of writers actually a part of it. Tyler Anderson, and I don't want to go through the whole. There's a lot of moving parts, and it's a lot of good old boys like me, and it comes from people that went on the weekend. So my dad, he's obviously a preacher, but he does commercial fishing, and so my family was, fishing out on the boat on the weekends or tubing and jet skiing and all that. And that's all we did all summer. There was nothing else to do except ride four-wheelers. And then in the winter, it was out commercial fishing with nets. And so it was water all the time. And so the idea kind of came from what a life on the water, pretty much. And I had a different idea kind of going in for it, of not necessarily as much of a party song, but just what people that live a life that are fishermen and commercial fishermen, or that are out on the water all the time. A song that kind of shows their life, not necessarily just a party song about being on the water.
Mhm.
And of course, it just turned into be a party song about being on the water. And if anybody knows what a river bend, if you've ever gone riding a boat and stuff, the bend in the river normally has one of two things. It'll have a cliff, and that's usually where you can go cliff jumping, or it'll have a bend and it'll have a big sandbar. That's it. They're normally done. That's kind of the way the earth. I don't know anything about science, but it just seems like all the time there's going to be one of those. And so, and also that's where you go to have your parties. You get out on the sandbar, and you pull your boats up and get the floating cooler out there and a little floating barbecue. I don't know if you've ever seen one of those, a little floating barbecue. Oh, messiest thing in the world, and your hot dog tastes like river water, but it's really, really cool. And what do? You get bent up. You start having a few drinks. You start putting music on, and Tyler kind of mentioned this idea of, hey man, we're out there getting bent, man, or I'm bent. It kind of came like that, man, I'm bent right now. And I was like, we're over here in the river bend getting bent. And that's kind of where that play on words happened. And I was like, river bend and river bent. And I was like, my first thought every time I get an idea is, I think this is already a song. I have to go make sure this isn't a song. So of course, my first person, Luke Combs, do you have because like he's always
Yeah.
stealing your ideas. Like Beard Over Broke My Heart was definitely my idea. A Bank wrote song. And I couldn't find nothing. Of course, the first thing that pops up when you type in country river songs is Redneck Yacht Club.
Yeah.
In that realm. And so that's pretty much the song. I mean, I'm weird. I don't like trying to explain this song. I've got Take It or Leave It, which is a song, another one that's going to be coming out. I could tell the story behind it all day long, but I like people to listen to River Bend and not really try to tell them where the song come from, because when I listen to a song for the first time and I hear the story behind it, I kind of adapt my own backstory to it.
Mm-hmm.
And I want people to do that, because I think the song is so neutral to people that love getting out on the water, that they can listen to it and they go, burgers on the grill. You can imagine Uncle Mike up there grilling burgers. Girls on the inner tube, tanning on the inner tube. Like that's my mom and my aunt. Like that's all they did when we were down in the water. They would just lay on the inner tube. That's all they did. But somebody else might think that's my girlfriend. They might think of that hot chick that one summer with her. And so that's what I want people to take this song and kind of adopt it as your own summer song and make up your own backstory for it.
I like that.
I do. I love it a lot, and I love the way you're
questioning here. All right, and it says gonna kill a 30-pack today. And if anybody knows, people hear that and they're like, there's not a 30. Yes, there is a 30-pack.
Bud Light has a 30-pack.
Bud Light does?
Yeah.
PBR is also known for their 30-pack.
Wow. I didn't know.
But they might have just come out with that over the summer. I don't know if they had it before, because this is the first time I've seen it. Bud Light.
Well, PBRs had these long. Have you seen it before? It's like a long,
PBR.
yeah, and it's a 30 pack, and so that would be the cheap. It was cheap too. You can get like 30
Oh
beers,
yeah,
$15 pretty much,
yeah.
and we'd buy like 5 of them, and so that's where
That's where
the
you all been up.
30 pack. I could
Well,
put
I'm
them.
sure.
I love it. And a PBR, I mean,
Mhm,
says it all, little Pabst Blue Ribbon. That says it all right
mhm.
there. So that's
I'm
great.
sure they had their 30 packs out before the Budweiser people.
PBR has probably been doing it for quite a while.
Yeah.
They're really hard to find. I don't
Mhm.
send out much of them.
Hmm. Interesting. Love it. Let's talk about the pandemic a little bit. I know nobody really wants to talk about it, but the whole quarantine thing and how I put it. You talked about being out on tour, and then all this came down, and now here you are sitting in your house and wondering what to do next with the shower curtain behind you. Maybe you went shopping, maybe you went to Walmart and picked that up. I don't know, but the good or the bad of the pandemic. Let's talk about the good first. What good has come out of that for you?
I think it's brought me closer with my family.
Mm-hmm.
And we
Mhm.
don't like I don't live in the same I live alone. Well, I got Maggie, my dog. That's very inviting for all you people that want to come rob me. I don't think you're gonna like coming through my door at 2 in the morning though. um,
Right.
but
I love it.
I started going back home a lot to Savannah and spending 2 or 4 days. Actually ended up getting corona back when I was
Oh.
Oh,
home.
you tested positive, or were you really sick?
It was not so. My background vocalist, Chelsea, I was talking about her earlier. She actually sings background for me. We had a gig,
Mhm.
and while there, a guest came up and sung a song with her, and he had it. So
Ah,
she then gave it to me, and I thought had given it to my over 60-year-old parents,
Mm.
and I was like, oh gosh, and so I went and got tested. Mine was positive. My dad got tested the same day. His was negative, and my mom went and got tested, and hers were negative.
thank God.
I came home and quarantined. I experienced some body aches, and that was it, except for no taste and smell. I could not taste and
Mm.
smell for about 3 weeks, and that doesn't seem
Mm.
like a big deal. And I know there's way worse symptoms, but if
If you like
not,
to eat.
not fun at all.
Well, thank
Mm-mm.
the good Lord you're okay. I mean,
Mhm.
God was watching over you, and every you're fine. How long did it take for you to actually get over it entirely?
Uh, I'd say about 3 weeks.
Yeah.
But I have a friend in Knoxville who is on month 4 and he cannot taste or smell.
Ooh.
Oh my gosh.
And he's went to the doctor and they pretty much just said we don't have any studies of this. You know, there's the people that uh, have experienced the side effects of no taste and smell. Some of them are still going through it, but we're only almost a year into this, and so it takes sometimes 5 years for them to come up with good studies on what's happening. So they basically said we don't know if this is a permanent thing. We just know people are not able to taste and smell 4, 6. There's a lady out in California that's like almost 8 months.
Oh my God.
So they don't know. It could have permanently damaged those sensories or
Yeah.
but yeah, about 3 weeks and I was able to taste again. But about 2 weeks in, I grabbed hot sauce and I poured it in my mouth and I could not taste anything.
Ooh. Well, then, you know what? I bet you I'd be able to stomach Hattie B's hot chicken if that ever happened to me.
You don't like Hattie B's?
No, I do. It's just very spicy. The mild version alone is enough for me. And I know some people that can handle the hot, whatever third level is there. I couldn't even, I mean, for the first time I had it, I could not finish my mild version.
Yeah, it
So,
was not fun. And then it just went away. I woke up one day and
wow.
I could taste a little bit, and then the next day I could taste everything and smell, and all good.
Lucky. Very
Wow.
lucky.
That's the good and the bad.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I know there's some, I mean, the good thing, like you mentioned, is, being with the fam a little bit more. I
Mhm.
think everybody we've talked to, when we ask them about what is good, uh, that has come out of this pandemic and the quarantine, or pandemic especially, they just say it's being with the family. Normally we're on the road, we're performing, we're doing this, we're doing that, and we don't get to hang with the family as much as we'd like to. But because of this, you are. But the bad side of it is you got COVID,
Yeah,
and you
it
couldn't take,
was,
and that's
and the worst part was like, and I'm in, I would say I'm in pretty decent shape. I was not, even if I had got really bad symptoms, I was not worried at all as much as I was about giving it to my parents.
Mhm.
I
That I was really worried because that they're on heart medication, and all that
Mhm.
stuff that comes with getting older. And like I said, I know they're listening, but I'm being
Mhm.
blatant. But that was the fear, and I know that's a fear for a lot of people is who they're going to give it to. But luckily, got over it quick and um, got that going.
Well, like
Mhm.
I said, thank God you're okay, Caleb. I mean,
Mhm.
thank God your parents are okay, and the family apparently is doing well. So that's a good thing. And you got over it, but there's a lot of people that aren't. So
Yeah,
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 and we just pray for them every day. If somebody wanted to get a hold of your music, do you have a website? Can they, the socials, or
yeah. I am on everything but Twitter. I never could get on the Twitter realm. I don't know why. I know
you're not a Twitter? You're not a tweeter?
people
What
get on
call it?
for it, and I don't know. And I'm not a huge social media person. You'll be able to tell.
Mhm.
It's almost like Aristo emails me and they're like, you need to do something. Yeah. um, but it's mainly because I'm working on music or I'm writing, and there's writing sessions, and I was telling my mom this because she tried calling me the other night and I just wasn't answering the phone. There's times where I turn
Dude,
my phone silent.
you got to answer the phone if mom's calling. It doesn't matter what you're doing, because she is not going to stop calling,
And,
because she's going to be so worried that there's something wrong because
hey,
you're not answering. At
but
least reach over and have it like a pre-made text that says, "I'm okay, mom. I'll call you when I'm done."
well, I instantly called her back, but there's like 3 or 4, 5 hours went by that I was just grindstoning down on a song.
And your mom was bouncing off the wall because she couldn't get a hold of you. I'm just saying.
Yeah, and then when I called her back, she was like, "Well, what if somebody was dying?" And I said, "Well,
See, what did I
did
tell you?
somebody die? No." But yeah,
Oh, yeah, okay.
all my social medias is Caleb Kelley Music on Instagram and Facebook, CalebKelleyMusic.com, um, Spotify, all that good stuff. I'm very reachable.
Mhm. We could track you down.
Yeah.
Do you drink coffee?
I like coffee, but I'm not, my mom is a daily morning drinker. Um, I'll have a cup every now and then.
I mean,
I have a Keurig with coffee ready.
I hate these cameras because I get it all. I want to send you one of my mugs, so when we get done tonight,
Oh, cool.
just so you can have it and not forget about us,
I'll definitely drink some coffee out of it.
or whatever. You can, I don't know, you can use it for other things too. If you could fill that with anything but coffee, what would it be?
Well, in a coffee cup,
Well, let's just say it was the only cup around in
um,
place of a solo cup.
I mean, my go-to, I love sweet tea. I just absolutely love sweet tea. But if we're talking adult beverage, I'm very basic. I do like a Jack and Coke.
Perfect. That's
People get on me like, dude, that's nasty. I'm like, no, it's Jack and Coke. It's the
Mhm.
original.
yeah,
Mhm.
I'm all about
Mhm.
that. I'm all about that. Ask Deb every time we're out or
Mhm.
at these whatever, we're at a show or at a meeting in Nashville. What do I have in my hand? A Jack and Coke.
Jack and Coke. Yeah.
Very good.
That must be the guy's go-to drink.
And then there's
So,
people that drink so much of it they can't stand Jack Daniels anymore, and I feel sorry for them because they're missing out. Because
They are, but there's a lot
mhm.
of different blends of Jack Daniels.
there is.
So
Let me,
if you just get a Jack and Coke, then you're just getting the basic Jack.
let me just since you're a Jack fan, we'll just end things with this little my
Mhm.
little prized bottle.
Oh my!
Oh,
Oh, the old number is that
27.
27.
Gold.
Mhm.
And it's signed by a couple of different songwriters on here from a
Dude, that's so awesome. Don't open it, Put it on a shelf?
Oh, it's empty.
I was going to say, I would be drinking it. Just don't throw away the bottle.
Now, this bottle is 100% empty.
Mm-hmm.
Good man. All right, but just put it up on the shelf now. You finished it off, and the box is autographed, and that's pretty cool. It's something you'll always have.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Caleb, it's pretty awesome chatting with you here tonight. We're not going to keep you much longer. We've had you for 45 minutes already. And but I want to ask a couple more questions if you don't mind. And
Okay.
maybe if you don't want to answer them, that's fine.
Okay.
It's entirely up to you. But do you turkey, duck, or deer hunt?
I hunt. I'm a very big dove hunter, duck hunter. I don't turkey hunt as much as I did when I was a little kid.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody would take me.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm more of a waterfowl and small game person. Yeah.
Like quail, or quail too small?
No, I like quail. My favorite, if we're talking just migratory birds, is going to be dove. I love dove hunting. Some of my favorite memories is dove hunting when me and my dad would get together with it'd be like 150 of us. Oh, there we go. It'd be about 150 of us out in this field, and one bird would come through, and all 150 of them.
Oh, yeah.
Just blast.
There's nothing left in the bird. We're gonna have protest outside my door here in a minute, but no, but it's crazy. Nothing left of the bird.
No.
Oh man, that's crazy. All right, let's see here. What sounds fun to you right now? If you could do anything right now, what sounds fun?
You know what? I want, like, if it's you're talking spur of the moment, just go do it.
Yeah.
I want to go skydiving.
Skydiving.
Yeah.
That's a lot of people's go-to.
I've said that my whole life, and I'm too chicken to actually drive to it and pay the fee and all that. But in the moment, if I could just be in the airplane, jump, yeah, skydiving.
Dude, I did it. I did it. It's the best thing. I would go back and do it again tomorrow.
Oh, have you done it?
Yes.
Please. All right. Tell me what. Like.
Well, obviously, I had to go tandem with somebody.
Yeah.
The radio station thing that they were listeners to the radio station. These guys that run this skydiving company, and so we gave them a call and they hooked us up. We had to go out. We had a 20-minute training session. 20 minutes, mind you.
The whole time, I bet your hands were just sweating.
I wasn't nervous one bit. Now,
really?
The other person that went with me was a wreck. She was a wreck. It was one of our girls at the radio station. Something we've always wanted to do, and we always talked about it, that it was on our bucket list. And so anyways, we went to the skydiving place, and I was not nervous at all. What my wife was pissed off because I didn't tell her I was going to do it.
Yeah, I would be a little mad too. I would be a lot mad, actually.
She heard us talking about it on the radio that we're going to go out and go skydiving. She immediately called the radio station, got a hold of me, and chewed my ass out.
Mm-hmm.
So I had to reschedule so she could be there, so she could watch.
Mm-hmm.
So anyways, so we get there, we go through a 20-minute session, we meet our pilot, we get in, we meet the guy we're going to jump with, each of us, and we get in the plane, we go up to 10,000 feet. The door opens up, and it's absolutely beautiful. And he goes, "You ready?" I said, "I'm ready." I was not nervous at all. Put my hands across my chest, hold my head up. He says, "Let's go." We dropped out of the plane. You free fall for about 60 seconds.
Like
What's that?
The free fall. What does that feel like?
It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable, dude. I'll send you the video of me jumping. I have it, and it's the guy I jumped with had a camera on, so you see the whole thing. When we jumped out of that plane, and for that 60 seconds, it was amazing. Amazing. And we went through a cloud, and when you go through the cloud, you feel all the moisture on your body. Then you come out, and then the chute opens up. The minute the chute opens up, dead silence. You can have a conversation with the guy that's with you. It's crazy. It's crazy.
Oh.
And then, we did some loop-de-loops, and we just came down and landed right where we took off, and it was the best thing in the world. I just couldn't believe I did it, and it was so awesome.
I know it's a thing that if I actually get up, I'm going to be like, my cousin, he went and did it, and he got so addicted, he now can jump by himself.
Yeah, I'm telling you, you will never, once you do it once, I know we're dragging on it. Deb's going to yell at me here because I'm rambling on. But once you do it once, you will never look at the sky the same way again.
Wow.
Boy. Now, when
Well, you got to do it once in order to get to that point.
Yeah.
right now, you look at it, but
Yeah.
you do a skydive, it's like, wow.
Let's make a thing of it and film it, and you take me skydiving.
Dude, I'd take you in a second. You come through on a radio tour, and as long as you don't tell your management or anybody that's going to say, no, you can't do that.
Yeah, you can't do that. You can't kill yourself now.
You got to think of it. The guy that's with you doesn't want to die. So let's just,
Yeah, no, that'd be a cool that'd be some cool videos right there.
I absolutely, and I will be more than happy to. If you go to my Facebook page, I'll hook up with you afterwards, and I'll send you some pics that are really cool. All right, before we wrap it up, what's on your phone background right now?
I don't. It's just like the regular.
Oh, okay.
The phone, yeah.
Gotcha. All right. What was your first concert?
Garth. Well, I don't want to include the Daryl Worley stuff because that was what I did growing up. Right. My first go out of town was Garth Brooks, and I am anybody you ask. Alan Jackson could walk up to me. I mean, of course, it's an honor to meet you, but there is no one in the world, and if any of his team is listening, it is on my bucket list. Have a sit down 5-minute conversation with him. I just want to pick his brain.
You know what?
Brilliant.
Garth would not a 5-minute conversation. It would be a 5-hour conversation.
I know, and that's why I've been to 7 shows. I've been to the arena shows. I've been to the stadium show. It is every time just out of just no words to even explain it.
The greatest guy that you would ever want to meet. All of you country artists are just phenomenal. You're down to earth. You're so generous. And I can tell you when Garth was here in Syracuse a bunch of years ago, we have a place called the Carrier Dome for the Syracuse Orange, Syracuse University. Being on the radio team, backstage, anybody that bought a program, he reached in his pocket and took out a wad of money and said, here, nope, you guys don't pay for anything at my show.
Oh my gosh.
And it was just like, no, I can't. No, it's good. It was only $5, but it was like, no, I'm fine. No, you take this. Listen, you don't pay for anything at my show. It's just, the guy is awesome.
And he prides himself on that $68 tickets when they go.
Yes.
Very proud on that.
Yep, absolutely. Let me find one more. Tell you what, pick a number between 1 and 25.
22.
What's your favorite smell?
Okay. Not all of them smell like this, but the one in my house I grew up in is the vent that comes outside from your dryer.
Oh, yeah. It depends what you're using for the dryer.
All I know is the one at my mom and dad's house, like heavy. I've been sitting, I've like sat out beside it and just let it kind of graze. My dad would come out and be like, "You're like a drug addict. You get up there." It smells good.
I don't think I have had anybody ever say that.
I got to walk through.
I'm addicted to dryer, but
right.
I have to tend to my dog for a minute.
Yeah, no, go ahead. You're good.
I'll be right back.
Yep. Deb's got a little dog, and Bella, and the dog is pretty up there in years and needs a lot of assistance. So that's probably what's happening every once in a while. And it's just a dog is part of the family, which and we know. And I don't know what we would do without our pets. I've got a Miley and a Nike. So a Nike is a rescue, and it's part boxer and black nose cur, I think it is. And but it's a great dog for a rescue. It's awesome, and I highly urge anybody to go to wherever they take the animals in, an SPCA or any of those, and adopt a dog, because they're absolutely wonderful. And then we got a purebred yellow lab. We've had those all our lives, so but when that day rolls around and you have to say goodbye, it's pretty hard. It's pretty hard because they're part of the family. It's difficult, very difficult. So that's having a dog part of the family. Let's while we're waiting for Deb to come back here, let me pick another number between 1 and 25.
12.
Oh, dude, you're going to love this one.
Uh-oh.
And mom and dad are listening, so we got to be careful. Most adventurous thing you've done that your parents do not know about.
Oh, wow. You ever watch that show Hot Ones where they have the hot chicken or answer? Can I do something instead? No, let's see. Most adventurous
Thing that you've done that your parents do not know about.
probably. Ooh, well, they wouldn't be mad at this. There's a River Bend, like I was telling you about. There's a place down our RV, which is a big cliff jumping place, and it was a cliff jumping place years and years ago. You're really not supposed to go cliff jumping there anymore because there's like an old bridge under it. And we went one night. I'll say
That's crazy. Have you jumped off like a railroad bridge into the river?
Have I done that?
Yeah, I mean, we have those here, and during the summer, the kids climb to the top of the bridge and they jump off, and I'm like, you're nuts. I mean, you don't know what you're going to hit when you hit that water.
Yeah, we just got big cliffs to a death jump into metal and debris.
That's crazy. Caleb Kelley, thank you for spending close to an hour with us here tonight, just talking about you and life and finding out a little bit more about you. We love your music, dude. You just, we've been blessed to be hooked up with such great artists, and you're one of those. And, and Deb and her country music fan club, and I can let her tell you that, we put some shows together.
Actually, you liked my page. Thank you very much.
Of course.
So if they haven't done it already, I have a great social media team. They're pretty on top of it, but they should be liking you back. And then when you get things that come up and go on, we can basically cross promote and make sure we get your music out there and your tours and your pit stops and the whole bit. So definitely.
Yeah, I would love to be able to come out and perform somewhere with you guys. I tell everybody that's never seen, you can go back in some of my social media and see the last major show I did before COVID in January. Because I'm such a huge Garth fan, I pull a lot of my inspiration from him. So I say, if you like smash Cody Johnson and Garth Brooks together,
wow,
it's kind of a Caleb Kelley show. Wow. I love jumping on speakers, and I've had the sound team be like, "That's dope."
The poor guy behind the soundboard's going, "What the hell is he doing?"
Yeah, the trust ladders are really fun to swing from. That's all I could say.
Just be careful when you do it. I know I love seeing shows like that. I think that, and that goes back to what I was saying before, that if you get into it, that, your fans are going to love it. Everybody there that's watching you is going to say, "This guy's so cool. Look at him go. And he's rocking." And
that's fun. I just get up there and have fun. I don't be somebody I'm not. I don't sing hunky dory songs about driving a Lamborghini. I get up there and I'm myself, and I'm a crazy person. And so I get up there and be crazy.
Caleb, you're awesome, man. You're awesome. And best of luck to you. And God, I don't think you can catch COVID again. Can you get COVID again? No.
Well, for 3 months, it changes or something. So
I don't know. Something came out today in the news. I don't know. I'll be honest with you. I think I've pretty much stopped watching the news. It's just like,
very repetitive right now.
I want the good news to start today. I don't want to find out about all this other stuff, I mean, I know there's stuff we need to know, but I still need to start my day, and I want to be happy when I start my day. So when I get up in the morning, I try to avoid it. Cost. But Caleb Kelley, thank you so much for joining us here tonight. Nashville singer, songwriter, River Bent is out, and you can hear that on the Wolf, by the way, here in Syracuse. And a great team behind you. You're a great person. God bless you, my friend. When we click off here tonight, if it shuts you off, come back on so we can get some information off with the microphones off, the camera off. So offline. So, but anyways, Deb, how about your Facebook page?
Yes, I did forget to say that. Go to Facebook, the official CMFC, and you'll track us down.
Right.
And we're on Instagram, official_CMFC. You'll find us. And you know what? We're not big on Twitter either, believe it or not.
Got to see her on TikTok. She's crazy on TikTok.
Oh my gosh, no.
Oh yeah.
It'll be no. You don't want to see me on TikTok. I'll leave that for you young people.
Well, we're not old. Come on.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, we are. Anyway, Skip Happens. Like us on YouTube, and of course, Skip Happens vodcast page, and it's all right there, my friend. And Caleb Kelley, make sure you check him out online. Caleb Kelley Music, right? .com. Is it?
That's it.
That's it. Got it right. All right, Caleb Kelley, you're the best, man. You're the best.
Take care. Thanks for joining.
Thank you.